If you ask any pilot what their favorite thing about flying is, many will tell you it's the freedom. For most private pilots, there's no speed limits, you can come and go as you please, and depending on the airspace, you don't even have to talk to anybody on the radio. Now, nobody's going to argue that that kind of freedom can be enjoyable, but being a lone airplane thousands of feet above the ground can quickly become very scary when something goes wrong. Luckily, in North America, there's almost always going to be an air traffic controller that you can radio for help, almost like a guardian angel watching over thousands of pilots. In Canada, NAV Canada's team of more than 2,000 air traffic controllers are looking out for the safety of pilots everywhere. Tim Wisniewski is an air traffic controller at Toronto Centre.
Well, when something non-routine happens, you'll either notice it in the pilot's voice, he'll make a strange request, he'll do something odd, or he'll actually tell you that there's something wrong. And we react to that.
As a controller with many years' experience, Tim has had several instances where he's helped private pilots in potentially dangerous situations.
So I had one incident where an aircraft was flying from Ottawa to North Bay, and he ended up in bad weather. It was unexpected, and he wasn't qualified to fly in bad weather. And then he lost all his electrical. It was nighttime. And at one point, he thought he only had 10 minutes of fuel. And we ended up doing what's called the surveillance approach. But we knew what altitude he could fly at, where he could be, and we talked him to the ground. He ended up breaking out of cloud at about 50 feet, which is 150 feet lower than most normal airplanes do a missed approach. And he landed, and he called us later saying that if we hadn't been there, he thought he would have crashed.
I myself have experienced a situation where if ATC hadn't have helped, things could have ended up very, very badly. With the help of Curtis, who's a controller with NAV Canada, and Sarah, an experienced multi-engine pilot, we'll now show you this recreation of an Aviators flight that almost went horribly wrong. We're on an IFR flight plan from Baie-Comeau to Ottawa. This isn't a flight myself or Sarah have done before, so the terrain is unfamiliar. We're filed at 6,000 feet, and the outside air temperature is 12 below, so icing is a possibility in clouds.
We're starting to clip the clouds here a little bit at 6.
We've got those mountains below us.
Yeah, so down's not going to work.
No. Let's try to go up. Let's see if we can get up.
Let's okay. Let's see if we can get 8. Let's see if we can get 8. Montreal Center, Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee.
Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee, go ahead.
Montreal Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee. We're clipping the clouds a little bit here at 6,000, requesting 8,000.
Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee, Roger, climb 8,000.
Roger, up to 8,000, Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee.
But as we climb up to 8,000, the clouds are thicker than expected, and we're starting to pick up some ice on the wings. If we continue to climb, we may poke through the clouds on top, but if we don't, we could continue to pick up ice very quickly.
Well, we're almost at 8, but I don't see the sun poking through.
No.
No, let's take it back down to 6. Montreal Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee.
Juliet Whiskey Yankee, go ahead.
Montreal Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee. We're picking up ice here, requesting original altitude back down to 6,000.
Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee, Roger, check you're picking up some ice there. Descend 6,000. I can also do, if you're GPS equipped, I can approve 5,100 feet for you.
Okay, down to 5,100, Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee.
And 5,100.
Hopefully, by descending to 5,100 feet, we'll stop building up ice.
We're still picking up ice, Anthony. It's building pretty fast on my wing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah?
I don't like it.
I think we need to land.
I don't like it. And we're below freezing. We're not going to shake it off.
Yeah, let's land.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay.
Montreal Center, Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee.
Juliet Whiskey Yankee, go ahead.
Montreal Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee. We're picking up ice, requesting vectors to the nearest airport with an approach.
Okay, Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee, check a change of destination. The nearest thing I've got for you, I guess, is 11 o'clock and 15 miles. Charlie Yankee, Quebec Bravo's Quebec City International. They have an ILS runway 06, if that'll work for you.
With ice building rapidly, we now have a change in destination. Luckily, ATC is able to point us to where we can land quicker than we're able to figure it out. Also, while we're not declaring an emergency, ATC appreciates the seriousness of the situation and makes sure that we're number 1 for landing at Quebec City.
Quebec Tower, approach. Got a rider for you, Golf Juliet Whiskey Yankee. He's currently 25 miles to the northeast. He was planning to go to Ottawa. He's picking up some ice there and needs to get down on the ground quick, so he'll be number 1 for the ILS 06.
As we're coming down, ice is still building up, so we're accelerating our descent, and thankfully ATC is doing everything they can to help.
And as I turn your base, I can get you down to 3. At 3,000, you should be out of the cloud bases, but the temperature on the ground is still below freezing.
Finally, as we line up for the ILS, it appears that we've stopped picking up ice, and we'll be on the ground soon. While some of the details in this flight were different, this was all based on a very real situation I encountered.
Juliet Whiskey Yankee, thanks very, very much for your help.
No problem. I'll talk to you soon.
One good piece of advice I could give you if you find yourself in a similar situation is not to be afraid to ask for help from your friends on the other end of the radio.
I've had pilots mention it to me that they're scared to talk to ATC, and they should never be afraid, because we're there to help. We're there to provide a service, and anything we can do to keep that flight safe and arrive safely at its destination, I think the onus is on us to do it.